Suspense. One dark and stormy night. Two visitors appear. Shadows at Mario's door. It's a him, all right. But who are they? Ah, it's Peach and Toad. Yet somehow they seem unsettled. The letter Peach delivered holds a baffling clue. It's a blank toad? This stamp. Mario's seen that symbol someplace before. It's a sign that points to only one destination. Prism Island. And so begins a perilous quest to solve the mystery of the folded toad. Paper Mario, Color Splash. The storm has passed, but clouds of uncertainty loom. And not those smiley Mario clouds. It's a ghastly scene. This once bustling plaza has seen better days. And those poor colorless toads. What happened here? Toad runs off in search of clues. When suddenly, the plaza transforms. It's a paint can? But why? No mystery is too great for Mario to take a whack at. This is Huey, Mario's unexpected travel companion. Did you hear that scream? No time for pleasantries. Toad's in trouble! Toad! No! Ah, Toad!
Well, that just
Okay.
happened.
That got serious real quick.
Yes. So we are going to jump right into the gameplay. We are joined here by the lovely Miss Tabata from Nintendo of Japan. So you worked on the game, so why don't you tell us a little bit about your involvement?
そうですね、田畑さん自身のこのゲームに対するの役割とか自己紹介をお願いしてもいいですか？
はい、任天堂の田畑です。このゲームではですね、アシスタントプロデューサーをさせていただきました。
So I'm Tabata from Nintendo, and I was the assistant producer on this game.
Awesome. All right, so we've jumped straight into a course called Blue Bay Beach. So at Blue Bay Beach, the Toads are preparing for this event called Ocean Fest. And at Ocean Fest, the Toads kind of get together and go crazy. But our goal is to restore color to Prism Island, because Prism Island has lost its beloved paint stars, and we know there's a paint star somewhere here. We're going to track it down. So to do that, I'm going to skip through some of this dialogue. The dialogue in this game is incredible, but we are going to skip through it for the sake of time. And we're talking to Huey right now. Okay. So one thing you'll see right up front is you have these kind of colorless spots throughout the Prism Island, and it's our job to recolor those spots. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is use my paint hammer. So I can press B to just use the hammer and whack things like this poor toad here, or I can use the X button to color stuff. So what that's going to do is allow me to kind of color these things in. So about this, about the paint kind of mechanic, Ms. Tabata, can you tell us a little bit about that?
そうですね、今回のタイトルでペンキが大きな要素になってるんですけど、その背景についてちょっと語っていただけますでしょうか。
そうですね。あ、バトルが始まっちゃった。頑張ってください。
Good luck in your battle.
このペーパーマリオのこの新しいゲームを作るときにどんなテーマがいいかなみたいなことを考えていて、でその時にこのゲームってインテリジェントシステムズさんっていう会社さんと一緒に作ってるんですけれども、
So when we got thinking about making a new Paper Mario game, we were talking with the company that makes the Paper Mario games, Intelligent Systems.
でそこのマネージャーの生野さんっていう方がですね、最近うちの子供たちがこう色塗りにハマってて、これってなんかゲームに使えないんですかねみたいなことをおっしゃって、それやってなったんです。
And so there was a manager at Intelligent Systems, a person named Ikuno, who mentioned that his kids had really gotten into painting, and he thought, maybe there would be some way to make a game out of that. And everyone heard that and thought, yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome.
So this whole thing was made out of someone's love for a kid's love for painting. That's cool. That's really awesome.
All right, so I've jumped into a battle here. It was unexpected. This guy kind of clocked me when I wasn't looking, but this is actually a good time to talk about the battle system a bit. So I'm kind of playing cards to initiate my moves. I use button presses. Those familiar with the Paper Mario series will know that you kind of have to, you're not just blindly playing cards and using attacks. You actually have to time your button presses to maximize the effectiveness of those. So we will talk about that a little bit more in a second. First, I'm going to run around a little bit and...
You can't miss any blank spots, man. You got to fill them in.
It's true.
You
have to fill in all these spots. All right, so I'm collecting cards throughout the environment. That was a new card. I didn't have that one before. And that's going to allow me to attack enemies once I encounter them. And it feels really good to whack stuff with the paint hammer. You're basically just filling in all these spots. And it's actually using up my paint as I'm doing this. All right, so this is actually a good time. So you can see here the environments in this game are completely made of paper. So it's all paper craft. This is the first time in the Paper Mario series where this paper aesthetic is fully realized and everything is made of paper. Mr. Tabata, can you tell us a little bit about the construction of these sets and the paper making, or paper in general?
そうですね、今回ペーパーマリオシリーズで初めて全てが実際にペーパーからできているように見えるようになってるんですけど、その過程とかプロセスについてちょっと語っていただけますでしょうか。
Wii U のゲームなんで、やっぱり今までになく表現力が上がったってことで、おっしゃるように本当のペーパーに見えるようにっていうのは努力しました。
I mean, it's just as you say, it really does all look like real paper now, and I think that's a lot to do with the greater expressive power of the Wii U.
本当にアーティストの人がものすごいこうかなああかなみたいなことを試行錯誤されて今のスタイルにたどり着いてるんですけど。
And the artists working on the game, they went through a lot of trial and error to finally get to what you're seeing here on screen.
で見ていただいたら分かるように、この段ボールでできている地形の上にいろんな紙が貼られて表現されてるんですね。
And it's kind of, as you can see, the basic structure is made up of cardboard, and then on top of that, there's different types of paper layers.
本当にもう、実際にこの地面は何紙でできてるみたいな、なんとか紙でできてるみたいなことをすごい細かく設定されてる。
Yeah, and they're very particular about it. They can tell exactly what type of paper this ground is made out of, and this part of the ground is made out of a different type of paper.
Yeah, you can actually see the fibers of all the paper. That's the level of detail we're talking about. I mean, there's construction paper and cardboard, and there's even a little bit of felt, and it's cool seeing all of these kind of sets that are made of paper, like real-looking paper. All right, so as I'm pointing these or filling in these colorless spots, I actually mentioned that it kind of uses up your paint. But as soon as we get through that, so you can see here I'm missing a little bit of blue paint because I've painted in some blue spots. Every time I paint something, it actually uses a little bit, but what I can do is kind of use the environment, hit stuff like flowers to regain some of that paint. And I'm using that paint in the environment like this, and I'm also using it in battles. So we're actually going to jump into a battle, and I will show you. Wait for it. Yeah. All right, so I jumped on this guy to initiate battle. That means it's going to immediately put him into a shell. So when you're playing cards, you're not just thinking about, what's going to do the most damage. You're thinking about which cards are the most useful for this particular fight. So each fight is kind of like a puzzle in itself. So I'm going to go ahead. I know that if I use this jump card, it's going to hit that first enemy. So I ready my card. Actually, let me show you this. So I choose my card. I place it here on the gamepad. I ready my card, and then I can paint my card. The more I paint my card, the more damage it's going to do. But I have to actually think about how much I want to paint my card because I don't want to use up all my paint because I'm going to need it later. So part of the game is that paint conservation. So for this fight, I'm going to go ahead and fill it all the way up. I'm going to flick it up toward the screen. And I'm going to stomp on this guy. Because he's already in his shell, he's going to fly off and hit his buddy and wipe both of them out. So again, it's kind of each battle is kind of a puzzle instead of just kind of like try to do the most damage sort of thing. All right. As we're looking for this paint star, we run into a few toads over here, and they're kind of making fun of this guy. We just went through the battle mechanics, just about the card system. What inspired the battle card system?
今回はカードに基づいたバトルシステムやってるんですけど、そのインスピレーションについてちょっとお願いしてもいいですか。
話はですね、前作のスティッカースターが完成した時のお疲れ様でしたパーティーまで巻き戻ります。
So the story actually starts from basically kind of a party at the end to celebrate the end of development of the previous title, Sticker Star.
インテリジェントシステムズさんと一緒にお疲れ様でしたってやっていってて、でその時に次のペーパーマリオはどうしようかな、新しいハードの Wii U でやりたいねみたいな話をしていて。
And so it was this party to celebrate end of development, and we got to talking, with the development staff and the systems, and thought, well, what should we do for the next Paper Mario game? And we decided that we'd love to do a game for the new hardware, the Wii U.
で、やっぱり新しいハードの特性を使いたいということで、ゲームパッドのタッチスクリーンを使いたい。
And so since we're using a new piece of hardware, we obviously want to use its special characteristics of the Wii U. You have the Wii U gamepad, and we wanted to make a good use of that touch screen.
で、のプロデューサーの田辺が、じゃあこの画面の上でカードをタッチして触ったりとか、スッて弾くみたいなの楽しいんちゃうみたいなことを言ってて。
And so at that time, one of the producers, Mr. Tanabe, he said, wouldn't it be fun to be able to sort through cards and then flip them up onto the screen on that touchpad?
で、それ聞いて、いいね、やろうぜって。
And so we heard that and we thought, yeah, let's do it.
多分ね、パーティーでね、みんなテンション上がってたんやと思います。
But I mean, it was a party, so everyone was in pretty good spirits,
So the moral of the story is we all need to have more parties, more games to be made. I like that. More parties.
More parties.
All right, so I'm going to use this hammer here, and if I time it right, it's going to do a lot of damage. So it actually did some splash damage there, hit the other guy as well. And then I'm going to use this, pressing the button to time my attacks. Wipe them out.
Very nice.
That's going to give me paint. It's going to give me sometimes cards. This guy got me. All right, so this is something I want to show off. Let me see here. An all-new mechanic in the Paper Mario series are enemy cards. So, in addition to, have a mushroom here, it's going to heal me. I have all sorts of attack cards. I also have this enemy card. And the only way you can get these enemy cards is from defeating enemies. So that's, one really good reason to get in fights, because if you want those cards, you're going to have to beat those enemies. So I'm going to go ahead and flick this up. Essentially summoning this Shy Guy. So essentially these cards summon this enemy, and my minion now is going to fight for me, take damage for me, all of that. It's going to go right through both of us. Ooh, so I was able to block that and take half damage, but he wiped out my minion, unfortunately. But, it happens. Flick this up toward the screen. This does enough damage. Got him.
Nice.
All right. For the second time. Ooh, I think he dropped that card too.
Yeah, we saw that Cooper Trooper card.
Yeah, he just dropped it.
Can't see it.
All right. So we have now made it to Ocean Fest.